Sags, the Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
Hello. This is a real good
Nasty
Boy right here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Guys up here, we're going to have like a little Q&A session up here, guys. We're going to bring you up. Y'all can stand up or sit down. Yeah, we're going to face you. I'm going to bring them up right here. Sags, would you like to say something before we get started here?
That Raiders guy's been haunting the Nasty Boys for years.
Yeah, it's always good to be in California. It's always good to see the fans. Gotta tell you, without you guys, we wouldn't be standing up here right now. The fans made the Nasty Boys, and we love each and every one of you, brothers. Stay nasty.
All right. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to do a little Q&A right now with the guys. So, who would like to be the first one that would come up first?
You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Don't everybody knock each other down at once now getting up here. Put these guys in the chairs. All right, here comes our first person up here. What's your name, buddy? Jeff. All right, Jeff, have you got a question for Knobs or Sax or either one of them?
Questions for all three. Basically, just want to know what the major differences were in your experience between working at the WWF versus working at the WCW.
All right, let me start over here with Sax.
Pretty much the WWF or WWE experience was a hellacious workload, but it was the place you had to go to the next level. And you worked. We were on the road. It was 300 days a year working for the WWE. And but once you got there and made it there, you're in a whole other echelon than you could be with any other company in the whole world. WCW was great because it was a lesser workload, and we were contracted employees, just as were the Atlanta Falcons or the Braves or anything with Turner. So that was a great thing. But the place to go and the place you had to go to be stamped and go to the next level, the highest level there is in professional wrestling was the WWE.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, back in the day, no matter what I did, even my dad would always say, no matter what organization went in, he would always say, well, you're not in the WWF yet, son. You're not in the WWF, because we're from up north of Whitehall, PA, so we mainly used to always get the WWF back in the day. And, they're the ones that... All right, I'm talking over here, but they go smack the living shit out of you. Oh, sorry about the language, everybody.
Who wants to see us use a chair right now?
But anyway, like Sag was saying, so to get stamped, once you made it in the WWF, and our crowning moment was, WrestleMania 7 back in '91 when we won the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles off the Hart Foundation, who was a very well-known tag team, and we were managed by the greatest manager of all time, Jimmy Hart. That kind of stamped and labeled us. But WCW wasn't bad either, because when you went down there, like Sag said, it was a lesser workload, and you got a contract like you played pro football. With Vince, it was a no-money contract. You just worked your butt off. You got paid good, but you actually worked. Sometimes we worked 300 days a year, with 50 days off a year sometimes. And I mean, it was grueling. We were, sometimes double shots. Detroit in the afternoon, Chicago at night, or Minnesota in the afternoon, and then fly to LA at night. I mean, it was crazy. And in WCW was a little less. But I'll tell you, we were there for the whole thing when the wars heated up and everything. And both companies were good. And I think professional wrestling is missing a strong company like that. I mean, you got Impact Wrestling, but they don't even, get up to Vince's toes. And WCW was right there, head to head. And I think that's what professional wrestling needs today, is a great company that could actually take Vince on and have that kind of competition. And that's what I think wrestling needs today.
All right. Who's next? Next. Come on up, big man. All right. What's your name, buddy?
My name is
is Todd. Now I have to ask you, here we go. You guys are the Nasty Boys, so here comes some nasty, raunchy question for you. Because I've talked to a lot of wrestlers, and I want to know if you guys have seen or heard of the famous locker room trick that Lanny Poffo, the genius, would do.
Well, I think they, all right, here you go, Zach.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I can tell you a good story. We were in New Zealand, on a tour in New Zealand, wrestling the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
And Lanny was putting on his genius outfit, his cap and gown and stuff in the corner, and he was stretching, because he always stretched looked like a ballerina when he was stretching stuff. And I had noticed down the hall a fire hose. So I said, Knobs, when I say go, turn that mother on. I took the hose, snuck down the hall, and Lanny was over there going like this and stretching the corner, and there was a big brass nozzle on it. I said, now! Knobs turned that hose on, and blew Lanny across the locker room, blew his cap and gown off, and the water right off his feet. He was, help me, screaming and yelling. So that's one trick I know Lanny did in the locker room via the Nasty Boys.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard stories, but there's little kids here today, but I don't know if that's ever true. You hear a lot of stories in pro wrestling, but I gotta admit, Lanny Poffo was a good guy, very good man, and the whole family. Me and Sag knew, God bless Randy. He was one of our good friends, and even Angelo and Judy, their mother, are good friends with Jimmy's and mine and Sag. So the whole Poffo family are #1 class people.
All right, who's next? Come on down, buddy.
Go ahead.
All right, and what might your name be?
My name is Me. Nice to meet you guys. I don't want to infringe on you guys, on the board, so I got you guys. Thank you. I have a question for you guys. When you guys started teaming up together in the AWA, I said, when you guys started teaming up together in the AWA?
What year did you start teaming up?
We went to train in Vern Gagne's wrestling camp, 1985, and trained by Brad Reagan's Olympic champion. And we went into that camp, and shortly after that, we started wrestling for the AWA. And then at first it's singles, and then we developed after they really saw who we were and different stuff like that. And via Vern Gagne's daughter going out with us one night in Minneapolis, she coined the phrase, "You guys are two nasty boys." And we were thinking of some other name at the time, and then we started thinking about that, like a little bit after that, Janet Jackson came out with that song, and I went, well, I guess that's who we really are, And from ever then, we started on ESPN TV. We come out from Minneapolis to Las Vegas and shoot the live ESPN shows from the Showboat Sports Arena in Las Vegas. And a big help as far as what we wore and different stuff like that, because we tried to, put in our minds what it would be, and it was like tights and singlets going back to the traditional wrestling, but really it started out with some ribs from down, we left Minneapolis and went down to Memphis, Tennessee, for wrestling for Jerry the King Lawler out of Memphis. And it was Jerry the King Lawler first pulled some jokes on us and painted our faces funny and different stuff like that. But out of that came, his artistic stuff came with adding on the ripped up sweatshirts and the boots, and then added on later came the leather jackets and different stuff like that. So it morphed from starting together into, what we ended up doing for the last 20, 30 years or whatever it is.
First of all, tell the truth, Sags. We were fired from the AWA. Then they sent us down to, Mid-South Tennessee, and, we had to find